In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to create this adorable wooden snowman. Let's jump into it. For the entire snowman, we're going to just use this 2x3. I'm pretty sure it's 2x3. It's not a 2x2, right? This is a 2x3. It's definitely not a 2x4. Okay, I'm done having a debate with myself. All right, so 2x3, and you want to make sure we're going to cut the head first. So the head, I'm going to basically just mark, and you want this to be the smallest piece. If you do not, if you're scared of these tools, use your little, use the handsaw, you know. These will cut very easy, a little bit of, a little bit of elbow grease. You got this, you got this. So we're going to cut our head first. It's going to be the smallest piece, and then we're going to cut the body, which is going to be slightly bigger and then bigger. You could also create this little snowman with a 2x4 and get the same results as well. Once you have your head cut out, I would recommend putting it in the middle of your piece of wood and kind of eyeing it. And again, you can measure there's spider webs. I really have to spend 5 minutes not creating content, making things, and just deal with this. Okay, just deal with this. This is my baby. This is my area. Like, I'm in this space so much. Anyhow, side note, back to the main project. I would just kind of eye this up. You want to give your body a little bit more width than the head. Mark your piece. And then go ahead and cut it up. All right, so let's just check our pieces out and see how we're doing here. Oh, I like that. And that would even be cute too if you just want to do the body and the head. Okay, but now we're going to take this bigger piece and we're going to put it on top of our next one. And we're going to just slide this sucker down, and we're going to make the body bigger. Again, you measure if you want. I am winging it. I want this to be a little bit, there we go, like really kind of give it some space there. And I also say 2x4s because they're more common. Like if people are doing scrap wood projects, they're more common to have around the house than these. I buy so much wood. I buy so much wood that I just, fortunately enough, have the ability to just pick whatever is going on here. And I wanted this to be a little bit smaller. So, but it would look beautiful as a 2x4 project as well. So we're just going to cut this last bottom, it's big old booty, and then we're gonna sand it up a little bit. Oh, I love how this is lining up. Sawdust everywhere. Make sure y'all wearing y'all's PPE. Don't be like Brandi's doing tutorials and forgetting to tell us to wear protective eyewear and stuff. Y'all know I always want y'all to have that on. Be as safe as y'all can. Don't be breathing this stuff in if you don't have to, okay? Now let me go find some sandpaper. Hold on a minute. We're going to use a 220 grit to sand this down. If you want to really smooth your board, so one of the cheapest boards that you can buy are like furring strips. Nothing has been done to them. They will look like this. They will look like somebody was chewing on them. Look at that. Somebody was gnawing on this wood. They are absolutely not in any way, shape, or form, mind the cobweb, not in any way, shape, or form like pretty to paint. Now I'm making this snowman rustic, so I'm not worried about these being completely perfect, but for sake of reselling purposes, I want to make sure there's at least a little bit of a smooth to the touch finish going on here. And if you want, you're welcome to beat up your boards and make this look even more worn. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to sand these pieces down, and we're going to get in here to put these pieces together. And real quick, just in case anybody wants to smooth these pieces out so they're amazing, what I would recommend is doing an 80 or 100 grit. It's going to knock off all your bits, okay? And then you're going to come in with a higher grit, a 220, give it a go over. Then I would come in with a 400 or 800 grit. It's going to make it buttery smooth and paint your projects. If you're fine with it like I am, 220, I'm just getting the rough bits off. And I'm going to show you real quick just how. So let me pick a piece that's really kind of messed up. So, okay, this is good. So here's this section. I'm going to take the 220 and just kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about, where I'm just knocking this off just to make it nice and smooth, but not too smooth because I want it to be rustic. Okay, so see how I just knocked it off? There's still ridges in here. You can see the imperfections. And if I run my finger down it, I can feel it. And it's not extremely smooth, so I don't want to do it too much because I don't want no splinters, okay? But it's smooth enough that I feel confident doing this with my hands, but you can still feel the lumpy bumpies. Now I'm just going to, real quick off camera, I'm going to finish sanding these pieces out, and then we'll get into our painting and attaching our snowman pieces. Here are our 3 pieces, okay? And now we're going to attach this guy. So to do that, we're going to use our nail gun. Oh my gosh, he is piled under crap. Oh my God. Come here. Here's my nail gun. I purchased this off Amazon, I think, or maybe I got this. I don't remember where I got this from. Don't start me lying. I think maybe Home Depot. I don't know. I really don't. I don't remember where I got it from. I get questions about it. I tell you, I love it. For all the mistakes I make with it, this thing is pretty great. But we're going to use this, and we're going to use my favorite Type-On wood glue. I'm pretty sure this is in my Amazon store. You can pick this up at Home Depot. You can pick this up at Home Depot. I'm sorry. I say, me and my dad, we're always, whenever we talk about Home Depot, we say Home Depot, joking. We use, this is my favorite, okay? I've used several different brands, but I just like this wood glue. I use it on my furniture pieces and things like that. I just feel fuzzy inside with it. And we're going to use the hot glue gun for a more instantaneous. What I would recommend, okay, see, I'm creating content, so sometimes I cut corners, and that's just me being real with y'all. But here is what I would really do if you're doing these to resell or give as gifts and you're not comfortable with just winging something like this. I would use a dowel, okay, smaller than this. Flip these up, drill a hole, at least one, okay, just one, on this side, and then on this side, cut you a little piece of dowel, or you can even buy the small pieces at your hardware stores. Put that little sucker in the hole, lather it up with some wood glue, and then shimmy this down right on top, and then do the same thing. I actually have had really good resolve with how we're going to attach this, or really good results, I should say, with how we're going to attach this. So I'm comfortable with how I'm going to do it. But since this is a tutorial, I love giving you guys options, and I also like making sure, because I do resell, I do give things away, I do sell things to people. I want you to have different options as how you can make sure your bonds are good, because you want to sell quality projects or give quality projects to people. Even if you're just making them for yourself, you want to make things that are going to last and they're not just going to fall apart on you quickly. You're welcome to paint this up beforehand. I am just going to paint everything afterwards. I feel like it will go quicker for me like that. But feel free to go ahead and do that first. I'm going to attach this and let this dry. One thing I want to mention real quick is before you do any wood projects, there's always a good reason for you to identify your front side and your back side. Because one piece of wood doesn't always look as good as the back side. So see, this side's kind of dingy, and I know we're painting over this, but it also has imperfections in it. So if you're not trying to show that, you want to put this on your back side, okay? So make sure this is the good side, this is the front, this is the bottom we're going to use on the front. So I'm going to put this face down because we're attaching these pieces together. And I'm going to do the same thing. This one got a little bump going on in it. Y'all can see that. You see that little bump? Oh my God, look at my nails. So for now, we're just gonna take some of this wood glue. Oh my gosh, too much wood glue. What? Oh, look at that. All right. We're gonna take some of this wood glue and we're gonna just paint it on up. And I'm gonna put a smoosh of the hot glue right in the center to get this to stick instantly. And I'm gonna let this dry for about 30 minutes before I come back. Now, again, you guys have to keep in mind, I am filming this to get a video out on Friday. Duping through the holidays, okay? If you guys aren't familiar with my Duping through the holidays playlist, make sure you're checking it out. Tons of amazing creators coming this whole month. I am so excited. I'm such fans of so many people working with me this month. You guys have no idea. And if you're coming to me next year and you're like just happening onto this tutorial, I do a playlist every year called Duping Through the Holidays, where we get together and we just give back to the community, something different during this time of year. And we do little giveaways. And it's just really fun as well, just getting to see what everybody creates and how they remake things. And you're doing it on a budget, you know? Anyhow, now that I'm done rambling on, back to the point of me telling you all that. Let this dry. If you're going to do it, I keep hitting this camera. I'm going to have to move it. Let this dry. If you're going to do something like this, let this dry for several hours. Okay. Don't just go right back in it, because it's possible it could come apart. Like I said, I'm going to let this dry for about 30 minutes because I have to get this video out on Friday. And today, I'm filming this on actual Tuesday. This is Tuesday morning. I am filming this. I am filming it on the day you are going to see it this evening. Put a nice little smoosh in there. And then I'm going to just kind of press this down. Ooh, we are moving. There we go. Make sure it's centered. Well, as centered as you can get it. Anyhow. I swear, like, y'all ever hang stuff and it looks level when you're hanging it and then you get it up there and then you're like, oops, and the damage is done. That happens to me all the time, even if I get out the measuring stuff. All right, here we go. We're going to attach our head. It looks pretty level. Yeah. And if he's a little lopsided, shoulda, woulda, coulda at this point. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay, so this is our back side. So we're now going to take and put a couple of these in here. Okay, a couple of these in here. Now for me to do that, I'm actually going to put a brace. If you're just coming in, you've never watched any of my tutorials before or very familiar with my content, this table, look at me pushing it, is cushiony. It's a fold out table, okay? So you never want to staple anything on something like that because your pieces are going to bend. You want it to be fairly flat. So this way you get a good bond on there. So I'm just going to put this little piece of wood under here to give me that brace for my staples. No matter what, I always recommend when you're doing this, if you don't have your dowels in between, and even if you do, clamp it, even if it's just for 30 minutes. Now, unfortunately, my clamp is not big enough to go onto the top. So we are going to clamp on every little section that we can clamp onto. And then I'm going to put some stuff to weigh this sucker down for the next 30 minutes. So I know that it is not coming apart. So we're going to let this dry and I will be back. It's been about an hour. I actually went ahead and finished another project. So we're going to just take some chalk paint and paint this up. I cannot find my white Dixie Belle paint at the current moment. So I'm just going to use this to get this paint on here. Here's just one coat of this. You can see that there is still some wood shining through here. So I'm going to give it one more coat just on this side. I'm not going to worry about too much on these sides. We are going to go over it with some gray and give it a little dry brush. For our dry brushing, I'm just going to take this fan brush here and I'm going to start from one end of our piece of wood and drag it all the way to the other end without stopping. And then I'm gonna go to the other side and bring it back one up and just leave it alone like that. We're gonna do this for our entire little snowman. Actually did too much on the face, so now I'm gonna dry brush with this white. Let's try this real quick. So if you mess up like this, a quick little tip, okay, because this is where his face is gonna be, so we don't want this too much. So we're just gonna come back in with our white, and then instead of dragging it right over it, I'm gonna go the opposite way, and it's gonna pull the paint back. See? We're going to just do it again, so it's just even lighter. There we go. For our little guy's eyes, we're just going to use, you can use whatever you want. Let me just say that right. I feel like I say that all the time. Use whatever you want, but listen to what I'm saying. Okay. Makes so much sense, doesn't it? Oh, God, I don't know if I should wing this or not. Should I wing it? Let me at least just kind of draw at least his overall shape. We're just going to make these round, nothing too fancy schmancy, just straight and round, and then we're going to put a little white dot in the center of them. For our nose, I went and stole one of my daughter's colored pencils, don't tell her. We're going to just kind of swoop this like a U, like this, right? Like a crescent. And then just make a little baby nose, not a big guy. And color it on in. You can paint this one as well if you want. I'm going to just color this in nice and dark. And it will still give me the desired result that I'm looking for. For the eyes, we're going to get this in one shot, so I'm going to bring in a dotting tool and just going to bam and bam. Well, you don't have to just bam and bam, but I'm going to. Just one little boop, and then another little, sometimes just that one boop will take all your paint off your dotting brush. You just never know. Okay, my luck to still do it. My luck to still do it. All right, let's do it again. There we go. Oh, it came out perfect. All right, now we're going to put our little scarf on, and that's going to be it for this little guy. What do you guys think of this? To attach this and our bells, I'm going to use tacky glue and some hot glue. I like to use tacky glue whenever I'm doing fabric and wood and want a better adhesive than just hot glue. You can, I find, now that, listen, I love super glue gel. This is the bomb, okay? But I find that even if I use it on a fabric, it will kind of pry itself off after a little bit of time. This won't do that with the bells, but it will do that with the fabric. So I'll probably use this and the hot glue for the bells and the tacky glue to wrap this around his throat. I never know. Is it hot? It's a little hot. You guys do that to your hot glue gun? You tap it? See if it's going to burn the shit out of you or what, or is it just me? Okay, so let's kind of eye this up a little bit. We don't want his stuff too crooked here. You guys can put as much or as little tacky glue as you guys want. I'm just going to kind of wrap some around the back so I know that this is going to stay, and then in the corners here, just kind of add some extra in there. And that is going to be it for our little snowman, people. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial today. Stick around for the little reveal. This guy will also be in my duping through the holidays video on Friday, so check out how I edit this long tutorial and cut it down for you. Thank you so much as always for hanging out with me, and until next time.